and my dear friends, good afternoon. Myself Bisma from Kenny Mission School, and my topic is about human rights. Human rights are commonly understood as inalienable fundamental rights to which a person is inherently entitled simply because she or he is a human right. Human rights are thus conceived as universal, applicable everywhere, and egalitarian, the same for everyone. These rights may exist as natural rights or legal rights in both national and international law. The doctrine of human rights is international practice within international law, global and regional institutions, in the policies of states and the activities of non-governmental organizations has been a cornerstone of public policy around the world. It has been said that if the public discourse of peacetime global society can be said to have a common moral language, it is that of human rights. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reasons and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit brotherhood. And I will also tell you about the history of human rights. Human rights were defined as a result of European scholars attempting to affirm a secularized version of Judeo-Christian ethics. Although ideas of right and liberty have existed in some form much of human history, they do not resemble the modern conception of human rights. According to Jack Donnelly, in the ancient world, traditional societies typically have built elaborate systems of duties, conception of justice, political legitimacy, and human flourishing that sought to realize human dignity. The basic of most modern legal interpretations of human rights can be traced back to recent European history. The 12 Articles 1525 are considered to be the first record of human rights in Europe. They were part of peasants' demand raised towards the Swabian League in the German Peasant War in Germany. Declaration of the Right of Man of the Citizen approved by the National Assembly of France, August 26, 1789. We hold these truths to believe self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator than certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuits of happiness. These were followed by development in philosophy of human rights by philosophers such as Thomas Paine, John Stuart Mill, and G.W.F. Hegel during the 18th and 19th century. The term human rights probably came into use sometime because spanned the rights of the man, and William Lord Garrison in 1831 writing in the Liberators, in which he stated that he was trying to enlist his readers in the great cause of human rights. Many groups and movements have achieved profound social change over the course of the 20th century in the name of human rights. In Western Europe and Northern America, labor unions brought about law granting workers the right to strike, establishing minimum workers' conditions, brought about law and granting workers the right to strike, establishing minimum workers' conditions, and forbidding or regulating child labor. The women's rights movement succeeded in gaining for many women the right to vote. National liberation movement in many countries succeeded in the driving our colonial powers. One of the most influential was Mahatma Gandhi movement to free his native India from British rule. Movements by long oppressed racial and religious minorities succeeded in many parts of the world. Among them the African American civil rights movement and more recent diverse identity politics movement on behalf of women and movements and more recent drivers minorities in the United States, the establishment of the International Committee of the Red Cross, the 1864 Library Code, and the first of the Geneva Conventions in the 1864 laid the foundation of international humanitarian law, to be further developed following the two world wars. The world wars and the huge losses of the life and the gross abuses of human rights that took wars. The world war and the huge loss of the life and the gross human that took place during them were a driving force behind the development of modern human rights instruments. The League of Nations was established in 1919, and the negotiations over the Treaty of the following ends of World War. The League goals included disarmament, preventing war, collective security, settling disputes between countries. Thank you.
Stop. कर दीजिए सर।